Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat. Welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan. It's good to be back with y'all today, and I hope everyone had a good weekend. Had a very nice weekend. I was up at Lake George. A little chilly, but it was a good excuse for a fire. Good to see you, Gail. Good to see you, Brayhard. Good to see you, Bad Roxy. And Gail, congratulations. You have won the Crown of Furstendom. I won't say steal. I don't want to cause further consternation in the house of Gail and Bad Roxy. But you have won the pre-meeting crown, so hopefully the meeting goes well because you're going in with a shiny crown. Everyone will love it. Other than that, I got nothing. So, oh yeah, really quickly, welcome to CD Mouse. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Hope you have a good time. Yeah, so we're gonna be playing more Birth by Sleep, continuing on Terra's Arc this time since we finished off on Ventuses. So let's go ahead. Let's get on into it. New game. Would you like to skip the introduction? Yes, please. Best feature this game has. One muscly lad to smack things. But simple and clean remix, yeah, which we've heard a million times already and gets the VODs muted. And we will hear a million times more, yeah. At least twice.
Today you will be examined for the Mark of Mastery. Not one, but two of the Keyblades chosen stand here as candidates. But this is neither a competition nor a battle for supremacy. Not a test of wills, but a test of heart. Both of you may prevail, or neither. But I am sure our guest, Master Xehanort, did not travel all this way to see our youngest prospects in years fall short of the mark.
Bro, they're your only
trust you are
prospects.
ready. Yes. Then let the examination begin.
Orb, orb, orb.
Don't worry about me. You two focus on the exam.
But Ven, you're in danger here. Go wait in your room.
No way. I've been looking forward to this. Seeing you two become masters. I'm not gonna miss it now.
He can take care of himself. He's been out there training just as hard as us.
Yeah.
Stay sharp, Ven.
Can turn down the music just a skosh more.
Yeah. Take that.
Good shot. Good shot, Carrot. You tried.
Let's go.
Man, switching from Ventus to Terra is weird because Terra is so slow. you say he's too slow? Maybe, just maybe.
That was unexpected. But one must keep a still heart even in the most trying of circumstances. It was an excellent test, one I chose to let unfold. Which brings us to your next trial. Now, Terra and Aqua, the two of you will face each other in combat. Remember, there are no winners, only truths. For when equal powers clash, their nature is revealed.
There are no winners,
Begin.
only losers. Man, sure would be fun to play this scene.
We have deliberated and reached a decision. Terra, Aqua, you both performed commendably. However, only Aqua has shown the mark of mastery.
Look at her shoes. She
Terra,
has the shoes of a
You
master.
failed to keep the darkness
Ridiculous
within you
fashion.
sufficiently in
Terry, you
check.
dress too normal.
But there is always next time. That is all. Aqua, as our newest Keyblade Master, you are entitled to certain knowledge. Please wait here for further instruction.
Hey,
Terra, I'm sorry.
The darkness. Where did it come from?
What do you make of Ventus?
He ain't gonna cut it. Somebody's gotta break that loser in.
Oh, new
Not
profile
here,
picture.
you
Yeah, I
know.
got bored of the old one.
I have
How you doing,
to
Squirrel?
keep up appearances.
I know that. He just needs a little incentive to leave home.
Sorry. But I need some time alone.
Doing pretty well.
There's darkness within me. So what does that matter? I know I'm strong enough to hold it back.
Yes. You are indeed strong. The darkness is nothing to fear.
Master Xehanort.
And yet, how frustrating that Ericus refutes its power. Why, you could train with him forever, and still, you'd never be a master in his eyes.
But why? Help me understand, Master Xehanort. What is it that I failed to learn?
You're fine as you are. Darkness cannot be destroyed. It can only be channeled.
I don't know, if you shine a light
Yes.
on it.
Thank you, Master.
I'm beginning to think this Xehanort's not on the up and up.
What happened?
I don't know. Why isn't Ven here?
Very well, then. I will send my pupils to investigate. Yes, I understand. Farewell. That was my dear old friend Yen Sid. As you know, he is master no more, but he still keeps a close eye on the tides of light and darkness. His counsel serves as signposts on the road we wielders of the Keyblade must walk. All the more reason then for concern, for he tells me the princesses of Heart are in danger. Not only from the forces of darkness, as you may assume, but also from a new threat. one that feeds on negativity. Fledgling emotions that have taken monster form. Yen Sid calls them the Unversed. As wielders of the Keyblade, you are tasked with striking down any who would upset the balance of light and darkness. The Unversed are no exception. I tried to pass this news on to Master Xehanort, but my repeated attempts to reach him have failed. I doubt there is any connection, and yet this all
Bro, he just left. He's like driving or something.
Master Xehanort is gone?
So here we are. I need you two to get this situation under control. Eliminate the Unversed, and find Master Xehanort. I have unlocked the lanes between. You may use these forbidden pathways to travel between this world and countless others. The darkness looms closer than usual within these spaces, but your armor will protect you. Lastly, remember that order must be kept. You cannot tell anyone there are other worlds.
Right, tell everyone there are other worlds.
And fulfill your duty.
Yes, Master.
Terra, consider this an opportunity. A second chance for you to change my mind.
What?
You must know, I care for you like my own son. If I could have my way, I would name you Master in a second. But how can I, when you are so obsessed with power? Terra, you mustn't be afraid of losing. Fear leads to obsession with power, and obsession beckons the darkness. You must never forget.
Thank you, Master. I swear, I will not fail you again.
Well, I wouldn't speak so soon. Feel like Jared's VA mic wasn't so hot. Yeah, he's kind of into that mid-2000s mumble rap thing. Don't be afraid of losing, even though that's completely stalls game progress. Last day recuperating. Oh, hope you're feeling better. Yes, we know how these things work. All right, staying inconspicuous upon arrival achieved.
Monsters. The ones the Master mentioned. These are the Unversed.
Oh, this is a long fight. This is a lot of waves.
Take that!
Oh no, he runs
you
like he's in
don't.
a Naruto anime. I think they did a really good job of capturing the design of the castle from the original concept art.
What's this? Why aren't you asleep, boy? That fool Flora cast a spell to put everyone in this castle into a deep, deep slumber.
Who are you?
Why, I am Maleficent, as all who dwell in this kingdom would know. Now you must reciprocate the introduction. Who are you?
I'm Terra. What do you know about those monsters? The ones who attacked me.
She didn't see anyone attack you.
Now why would I give a thought to creatures so base, so inconsequential?
Well, they are base. That's for sure. Anyway, I'm looking for someone. Ever heard of a man named Xehanort?
That name is not familiar to me. Is he an outsider like yourself? Oh, but wait. I do remember someone leaving the castle.
Tell me, what was he doing there?
I couldn't say. I can only be certain he was not from this kingdom. If you're curious, go see the castle for yourself. There, the entrance is past the bridge.
Thanks.
I'm sure,
Perhaps he did speak about imprisoning the light. The light could be so many things. Could he have meant Princess Aurora?
Aurora.
yeah, I'm sure that Maleficent's not manipulating him at all in any way, shape, or form. Nope. Yes, I have completed the game once I know how these things work.
Take that!
Rude.
Take that.
I have the strangest feeling we've been here before. I have the strangest feeling we'll be here again. Get this blizzard out of there. Zero gravity. It's a really good ability.
Want some? Drift. You're done. Drift. So long. Drift. Take that.
Spinny! I like that in Zero Gravity, you smack them and they just go. So I once tried playing this on the hardest mode, which I think is called Critical, and it took me an hour to get to this point. Like, I kept losing every fight. I finally got to the boss, and it just ruined my day. I totally forgot it was Halloween, did nothing spooky at all. And I went to church yesterday and it was All Saints Day. You missed Orthodox Halloween?
Take that.
Orthodox Halloween is in June. It's because Orthodox All Saints is in June, or really the first Sunday after Pentecost. So it could be in May.
This feels so familiar.
It's a
Her
weird
heart
thing to
is
say.
Filled with light, not the slightest touch of darkness. Just the kind of heart I need.
For what?
Imagine with me the most glorious of futures. 7 of the purest hearts, each overflowing with light. When brought together, they grant the power to rule all worlds.
What do you mean?
Why, that key you hold. The Keyblade, is it called?
Where did you learn that name?
That trinket is the only way to obtain the hearts.
No more games! Where is Master Xehanort?
Impudence will get you nowhere, child. If you wish to learn more, you must retrieve the heart of Aurora.
And why would I ever want to do that?
It's not a matter of why, but of will. In your heart, there is darkness just waiting to be awakened.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Perhaps not
Lying about
yet,
it's not gonna help.
but I have power over sleep. And I can awaken what's inside you.
If you have power over sleep, then why don't you
will
make
be
everyone in the
free
castle?
to be who you truly are.
Remember, the darkness lurks in every heart. Darkness is our foe. Would that we could be rid of it. You must destroy it. Push the darkness down. Give it no quarter in your heart.
Maleficent has the power of waking. I hate that I know what that means. Oh, Terry's doing a no-no.
Here it is. Just what I've waited for.
Terry doing a no-no is a summary of his arc. Spoilers.
To think that all he spoke of was and will be true.
What? How did I...
What did I do? What did you do?
You speak as if I pulled some invisible string.
You did.
No, you couldn't be further from the truth, child. I simply whispered to the darkness you already held inside.
The
How could I
strings
do this?
and on fire.
Then!
Yes. Now, you want to know where Xehanort went. Well, that I cannot answer. He disappeared into the darkness. But now I know the Keyblade is necessary to gather hearts. Join me. Collect 6 more hearts of pure light. Then we will rule all the worlds together!
You seem to be mixed up. I'm a peacekeeper, not a tyrant.
For a peacekeeper, you're off to an exceptionally poor start. Remember this. The darkness in your heart cannot be held back by force or strength. Now, my work here is done, as is yours. Wasn't there someone you needed to chase?
Wait!
I'm a peacekeeper. I strike first. Is that it? He was a Xehanort. No, not yet.
The Unburst. They're gonna bring down the castle. I have to do something.
Yeah, Disney does always has like a fair amount of oversight on the production. And usually has a say in which worlds get included or what things get cameos. That's why there's like a Chicken Little thing as the first summon in 2. Hey, Dino Smash. Think it'll be the same for 4? Yeah. I mean, I don't see the Mouse's lawyers ever relinquishing control. I think Mouse's Inc. was your favorite world in 3? Really? Huh. I mean, you're allowed that opinion for sure. I just found it much more. I found it very linear. I think my favorite in 3 is probably. I do think Toy Story is fun, and I like. There's like a ice dungeon that you have to go through in Frozen that I like.
Want some?
Oh yeah, Kingdom of Corona is a fun one. Pretty linear still, but I mean a lot of that game's pretty linear. Even by Kingdom Hearts standards.
Take that! So long! Take that! Want some?
Oh yeah, I actually really did like the Pirates World. That I thought that was very open-ended, and I enjoyed exploring it.
So long!
Just gotta find all those crabs, power up your boat.
Want some?
Now, does anyone here remember the legend of Sleeping Beauty and how she fell asleep?
So long!
Because what if we made that a boss? Yep, pricked her finger on a spindle. So what if we made a spindle and unversed?
Take that! Want some? So long! Take that!
Because, like, I get the unversed are emotions and representations of emotions, but being hit on the finger by a spindle with magical poison on it is not an emotion. Spinning is complicated skill that takes time to master. Calling it unversed is disservice to spinners. I think you're taking the wrong lesson from this Step Zero, but yeah.
It's my fault her light was stolen. It was because I was weak.
Oh, don't worry. It gets recovered in like 10 years.
I'll get your light back. Once I learn to stand up against the darkness. Why would Master Xehanort imprison the light? The purest hearts of light. Do they hold the answer?
Seven pure hearts, each completely void of darkness. Such a search may take some time.
You like the Snow White area of 2.8? So all of 2.8. Gotta visit this world, but only as Terra. That looks hideous. I love it. Where is it? There's... There's supposed to be a treasure chest here, but just for Terra. Do I have to do... Well, 2.8 D1 slightly long stream. Depends on how long I take. I'm just gonna fold that into 3.
Take that.
But there should be... Was it in Vent? Am I wrong? Is it in Ventus's world? There's...
You're done.
One of these you need to go to. The Mirage Arena, which is all just bonus combat stuff. Because there's a chest with journal entry.
So long.
You lose. I thought it was in Terra's. I thought it was just like right here. Maybe he's in Ventus's. I'll have to look into that.
Is something wrong?
It's just that my friends made me the most beautiful dress, but my stepmother and stepsisters ruined it, and I was so looking forward to the ball.
Darkness always finds a way into a wounded heart. You have to be strong. Strength of heart will carry you through the hardest of trials.
But
Unversed!
Love a good somber combat track.
Take that. So long.
Oh, you know, I think the chest is in Ventus, because I remember in earlier playthroughs I would start with Terra, and I'd do the Mirage Arena like once, and then be like, oh, it's bonus content that I don't really care about, and then never go there's Ventus and Aqua. So I'll go grab that chest off camera sometime.
So long! Want some?
Oh, what's the poll? Will there be a Final Fantasy characters in KH4? Ooh.
I can't believe.
Oh, I want there to be, but
Strength of heart is important, but that's not all you need.
Huh?
There's nothing left to believe in. Nothing.
Nothing, my dear. Oh, now, you don't really mean that.
Oh, but I do. It's just no use.
Nonsense. If you'd lost all your faith, I couldn't be here. And here I am. Oh, come now. Dry those tears. You can't go to the ball looking like
chat
that.
sides with hope and will not give to the mouse.
Oh, but I'm not.
I'm okay with this.
Of course you are. But we'll have to hurry. Now, what were those magic words? Oh, yes.
Bippity boppity boo, scala camoo.
Bibbidi boppidi boo!
Since you also go to Disneyland. Yeah, I mean, I'll go back to Disneyland, Disney World. And I'll still give the mouse money by buying Kingdom Hearts 4.
Oh, it's a beautiful dress.
Who fights the carriage? Aqua? I think
Why,
so?
it's a dream come true.
Yes, but like all dreams, I'm afraid this can't last forever. You'll have only till midnight, and then on the stroke of 12, the spell will be broken, and everything will be as it was before.
Yes, I understand.
Castle of Dweems.
Her heart was full of light. Why didn't I see it? What did you do? I can hardly tell she's the same person.
Who are you?
Terra.
Terra, in your heart, do you believe that dreams can come true?
I do. But I also believe you have to make an effort to make them come true.
Yes, of course. But sometimes just believing in dreams is easier said than done. Cinderella believes her dreams can come true. I wanted her to see that she is right.
So that's what made her shine. Faith in her heart that anything is possible. Where did she go?
To the royal ball at the palace. Go, and when you see her dancing, you'll know that she believes, and that will help you to believe too.
Anyway, I now need to go see my friend Merlin. We're gonna go hack into Xehanort's controls. You still haven't bought Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? What kind of Final Fantasy VII stan are you?
Take that! Want some?
Besides, you only need the first one to play what most people remember from their childhood or ever actually played.
Drip. Want some?
Stephanie Sticks. Yeah. Don't tell anyone other worlds exist. Meanwhile, the supernatural mentor figures are meeting for coffee. Oh, Master Yen Sid, I just met that Terra. Oh, he's gonna need a lot of work. Bless his heart.
So long.
Spin.
Want some?
I'm going to save every opportunity I get after what happened last time. They tried to teach us back in the Sierra Adventure games how quickly we forget. Save early, save often. Well, I mean, a lot of games spoil us with autosave features these days. What emotion is a boot supposed to be?
Want some?
You know that feeling when you're trying to fit your foot into a boot that fits but it's tight getting on and off? That emotion. Oh, okay, fair enough.
So long.
Yes. Give me all these ingredients for ice cream.
Want some?
You doing okay up there, Cinderella?
Not here, too.
I've met you before.
I'll take care of them. You wait right here.
Please, may I go with you? I so want to get to the ball.
All right. But stay behind me, or you'll get hurt. You're not worried?
Didn't you tell me it was important to stay strong?
Oh. I guess I did. So,
Yay, escort
you ready?
quest.
Yes.
Yay.
Take that. Take that.
No, you leave her alone. She said no.
Work done! Yeah.
I played through this part recently myself. Immediate response as it began. Where's my aggro button?
Want some?
I think you've been playing too much of that critically acclaimed, free-to-play, massively multi-online player. Something copy pasta.
Please help!
Take that!
Please help! Make it stop! Please help! Please help! Please help! Please help!
How did you take so much damage when I wasn't looking? It's the glass slipper. She's a glass cannon. Glass cannon implies that she has a cannon.
Want some?
Please help! Please help!
She's just glass. Counter hammer. That would require me to block.
Oh, thank you.
Terra.
Thank you, Terra.
Weird ball. Yeah, just the prince and his prime minister and like 3 other people. The PSP just couldn't handle it. It had to fit on a UMD.
Maybe just believing is enough.
But who is she, Mother? Do we know her? Well, the prince certainly seems to. I've never seen her before.
Nor I. But she certainly is. Wait. There is something familiar about her.
Was that Tress McNeil?
Unversed.
Oh no, this is you. I own the UMD for this.
Tell me, how do I get up there?
Well, there is a passage beneath the foyer staircase.
Thanks.
And each store had a unique slipcover. Thus making it a real pain in the patokas for collectors. Strike Raid. Blizzard should become Blizzard Raid. No, please stop being item boost. Is not Tress McNeil. Okay, it kind of sounded like it, and maybe it's because I was also thinking she kind of looks like Mom from Futurama. I want the sticker.
Want some? Take that! Freeze! Take that!
You're done.
This might be a little overkill there, but
Want some?
Susan Blakesley. I'm guessing she's the go-to VA now for people like Cruella and Lady Tremaine and not the original, but I could be wrong. Why did I climb up here if it was just gonna appear down there?
Down here.
Guards? Guards! Oh, where could they possibly be?
They're not loading in. I can destroy its instruments. Good, I can stop it from going doot.
Want some? So long. Take that.
Excuse me.
So long.
See, that's why I want to take out the trumpet. It just went doot at me.
So long. Want some? Take. Freeze. Want some?
Hey, Wilpog! The raid. Come on in, Raiders. Hope you're doing well. How you doing today, Wilpog?
So long.
And one of the mods, give Wilpog a shout out. He's a cool dude. Go follow him. Just nice, chill chatting streams. No touching grass raid. I mean, I just have things like, you know, I've been out and about today. I had a dentist appointment, I had another appointment. I haven't touched any grass.
You saved us all. The
Good stream
guests
back
are
after a
just
while.
starting
Nice.
to enjoy themselves.
Well, don't give up just
Grass
yet.
is overrated.
Oh.
Anyway, Tara should go touch grass.
Tell me something. Have you always had a problem around here with those monsters?
No, I believe they began to appear shortly after a boy in a mask arrived in our kingdom. Those that saw him said the monsters obeyed his every command.
A boy in a mask? Do you know where he is now?
Well, no. I don't believe anyone has seen him since then.
I see.
Oh, my goodness. It's midnight.
Yes, so it is. But why?
Goodbye.
Wait, come back. Please
Sorry.
come back.
My contract states at midnight I have to ghost you.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for that shout out.
Mademoiselle! Senorita! Wait!
Aqua!
Tara! Tara, Ven ran away from home.
What?
I think he left to go find you.
It's
Do you
not
have
doing a
any
very good
idea
job of
why?
it.
No. Actually, just before I left, he tried to tell me something. I should have listened to what he had to say.
Oh. So, did you manage to locate Master Xehanort?
No, but it seems he's looking for pure hearts filled with light.
Pure hearts, filled with light.
All I can tell you is that his search hasn't taken him here.
All right. I'll stay and see if I can find more clues.
Okay. The prince is in the ballroom ahead. He might have some answers.
Thanks.
You're kind of being a jerk,
Aqua.
Tara. You're just...
You still have the same dream?
Well, yes.
She's achieved her dream, thank you very much.
There's this girl here. Her name is Cinderella. She made me realize how powerful it is just to believe. No matter how impossible things seem, a powerful enough dream will always be enough to light the darkness. If you see her, give her my thanks.
Will do.
The boy in the mask who is leading the unversed. Who is he? Does he
Okay,
have
fair enough, the
anything
dream
to
is
do with
weak.
Master Xehanort's disappearance?
Oh yeah, I got a new Keyblade in that last... I don't like being on the lines. Put sliding dash there. Oh, neither of these are more powerful. You know what we haven't done in a hot minute? Snow White World is your second favorite delivery in the line series. Can't wait. Then I'm going to play Monopoly. Okay, it's just me versus Cinderella. How badly can this go?
All right.
This ups my value of everything, but I don't have anything to upgrade, so... Yes, I know how to play!
There we go.
All right.
Why do you have the keyblade? Shut up!
How nice.
Such a good line. So well delivered. 10 out of 10. When's the last time you saved? Just before starting this.
Oh. How nice.
I'm going nowhere slowly.
All right. There we go.
Oh.
I have the opportunity to do something very funny.
How you like this? All right.
That was it.
How nice. Oh.
There we go. All right.
Figure I'll put all my random magics that I don't have equipped down so they can gain some levels.
How nice.
There we go.
You don't get, like, normal XP towards levels, but you do get XP towards your skills leveling up.
How nice.
Because you need the skills have to be, like, at a certain level to fuse to make new skills, and thus get the side abilities.
All right.
Yeah, it is unironically good. It's not necessary, but it's definitely one of those
Okay.
where, like, even if you lose the game, you still gain levels, or your abilities gain levels. So well, at least I didn't lose any money there.
Oh!
There we go. All right.
How nice!
Okay, she's taking an odd path, but why not?
How you like this?
Cinderella, take a turn off.
There we go. All right.
Woo! Money. What would be most advantageous to level up? Probably... Don't I own two? Oh, okay, I do. Honestly, I'm thinking... Sleep. Let's make it level 3.
There we
Why
go.
not? It's gonna cost us some gold, but...
Don't give up.
How dare you!
Oh!
Cinderella is the worst.
Okay.
Okay, well, at least I got it back. You heard it here first, folks. Cinderella, a terrible person.
How nice!
Random question. Do any of your fellow priests that you can recall swear at all? Oh! Yeah. That is a vice that is not unknown to priests.
Please?
We are human too.
Oh!
I will neither confirm nor deny. No, I mean, I can swear
How
to.
nice.
I have. I strive not to on stream for sure. And I'd like to honestly not off stream, but
How you like this?
you know.
All right. There we go. All right.
What I'm saying is that four-letter words are a real easy vice to fall into.
Oh dear.
And I don't think they're the end of the world, but, you know. Sure, I have the money for it.
There we go.
Oh.
Okay.
Bippity boppity boo, collect GP based on your roll.
Bippity boppity boo!
I'm gonna roll a 1. Okay, well.
All right.
You have heard a number of priests say certain words. Yeah. Priests are human too.
There we go. No.
Man, board, I love that. Yeah, I'm not surprised you like Monopoly.
Oh.
I think the last time you used a 4-letter word was in elementary school. Wow. That I'm actually genuinely impressed. That's actually really cool. Like, unironically, that's awesome.
How you like this?
Dokapon Kingdom 1? How about Fortune Street? Just don't go peering into your head. Don't worry, I try. There's enough going on in one's own head. You don't have to. The advantage of Fortune Street, we already own it. We do, and we have so many hours. We never did finish that 100-turn game, though. There's a Monopoly-esque video game called Fortune Street that Gale and I have played a lot of.
There we go.
I know what y'all are playing tonight.
How nice. Oh.
Okay.
I don't know why it seems to have done things in reverse in life. I also gave up drinking in middle school. I think that's a good thing.
All right.
You're like
How nice.
a Benjamin Button kind of person. No!
Oh dear.
At least I think that's how the visitation went.
There we go. All right.
Oh!
See, the problem is I'm going to get to the
How
start,
nice.
and then I'll get to the goal of 6,000.
How you like this? There we go. All right.
Now, I'm trying to remember, do you have to have all 4 suits to finish the game, or do you just have to land on it? Ending the game. No, that's not what I meant. Because if I don't... I'm gonna just try this.
Okay.
Okay, I don't need all the suits. That's good to know.
Easy.
Yes. So many levels. Strike grade bind. I'd really like to stop getting. Item boost. Wait. Like, there was something else I wanted to do in that menu. What was it? Save! That's what. Okay, and I think that's where we are going to take our commercial break. So when we come back, we're going to dive on into Snow White's world. But take an opportunity to get up, stretch your legs, get a drink of water, do what you need to do, and we'll be back in about 3-ish minutes. And we are back. Let's go say hi to Snow White.
Spirit of the mirror, come from the farthest space. Through wind and darkness, I summon thee. Speak! Show me thy face.
What wouldst thou know, my queen?
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest one of all?
Famed is thy beauty, Majesty, but hold, a lovely maid I see. Alas, she is more fair than thee.
Alas for her. Reveal
Alas
her
and alack.
name.
Lips red as the rose, hair black as ebony, skin white as snow.
Snow White.
A mirror that knows and sees everything. How about that?
The heart of Snow White doth shine bright. Beware, my queen, a heart of light.
Another one? Wait. What if Master Xehanort is here?
Who goes there?
My name is Terra. I'm looking for a man named Xehanort. Master Xehanort. I thought maybe you might have seen him.
That name is of no consequence to me. Wait. Ah, yes. I have a task for you. If you succeed, I will ask the mirror where you might find this Master Xehanort.
And the mirror will know?
Do you dare
Why does
to
Terra keep
question me?
trusting all the wrong people?
What is the task?
There is a young maid who resides in this castle. Her name is Snow White. Kill her, and to make sure you do not fail, bring back her heart in this.
Her heart? I don't understand. You're after the Hearts of Light too?
What I demand is her life. I've had more than enough of her light.
Terra,
What
she
did
just
this
wants you to
maiden do you?
unalive her.
That is no concern of yours. Now, heed my words. My radiance is all the light this kingdom needs.
Where can I find her?
Outside the castle, there is a glade of wildflowers.
You
are
know, where
dismissed.
evil people hang
Go
out.
now
Glades of
and seek her
wildflowers.
there.
A Heart of Light. This Snow White is my best chance right now. Maybe she will lead me closer to Master Xehanort.
Terra, you are dumb as bricks.
But what if I... No, I won't let that happen.
All Keyblade users are dumb. Hey, Aqua isn't. There's a treasure chest right next to another treasure chest. That's totally normal.
Gather. Want some? So long.
mimics in my castle? You gotta call a specialist exterminator for that.
Gather.
No, Gale. Do I even have a fire command? No, I don't. I have no fire magic, which is unfortunate because that's what you need to activate this. Oh well. No extra bonus magics from, or bonus chests for me. Carries only Unga. His only magic is his fist. I summon fist! You can't just say you summon fist every time you punch someone.
Want some?
It's like when the barbarian gets jealous of all the spellcasters in the party.
Take that. Want some? So long.
He uses his skillet as a weapon so he can cast iron.
Take that.
Someone owes me 2,500 channel points.
So long. Freeze! Take that! So long!
No, Terra, it's okay. You can stop attacking it now.
Want some? Gather! Take that!
Made it. Jesus loves you. No, I looked at. Oh, I didn't have a mass today, but I did look at the gospel.
So long.
Oh yeah. Turn the other cheek, walk an extra mile. Jesus teaches a fairly comprehensive lesson on nonviolence. I am a fan of nonviolent resistance. And it can be debated as to how much it can be applied everywhere into every circumstance, and that's valid. But I do find that I do think that it has its place and is useful and good for us to look to sometimes. I looked at one of my own personal favorite examples is the White Rose Society. Hello. Hello, Preponi. How are you? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I don't know about anything quite like that. Sub-Zero, I just objectively don't know. I want to swap that for the other cure so I can turn those into a Cura. Well, what do we have here? Doing well, doing dishes and prepping dinner, so I'm gonna be a little quiet. Hey, that's all good. We always appreciate a good lurk. What you making for dinner? I was actually up in your neck of the woods. I was up at Lake George this weekend. So I had to go through Albany. Fajitas? Nice. Had to pick someone up at the Albany airport on the way. I was busy, unfortunately. It was one of those where it's like, gotta go through.
I wonder if that's her.
Well, I should be up later this summer as well. Oh, no way.
Oh. Oh, hello. Who are you?
Aren't you startled?
Should I be?
It's true then. Her heart is pure light. She's the one.
Is something the matter?
Does the name Xehanort mean anything to you?
Why no. I don't think I've ever heard that name.
Now what?
Unversed.
Aren't you startled? I'm Snow White.
Hey, wait!
Oh,
Don't go in there alone. Out of my way.
I didn't realize your camp was so close to there. That's awesome.
Here. Ha. Here. Hood. Here. Ha. Here. So long. Here. Ah. Ah. Hood. Here. Ah. Hood. Here. Take that. Gather. Take that.
Oh no, I just got Sonic Shadow. I didn't know this was a Sonic the Hedgehog crossover. There's so many field trips like George to the camp. Nice.
Here. Take that. Here.
Yeah, I mean, if I had the option to have a camp near Lake George, I'd... Or have an office near Lake George, I totally would. Part of me tried figuring out, like, could I stream there, but the internet's just not quite good enough. Well, you probably know my community's place then. It's St. Mary's on the Lake.
Lost her. She said she doesn't know anything about Master Xehanort. That leaves me with just one other option. The mirror. Back at the castle.
Just one other option. Listen, Terra is dumb. Terra is rocks. Let's meld a cure and a cure. Let's give it a soothing crystal and hope. Why is it an item? Why is it always an item boost? You thought Sora was rocks. I mean, also valid. I need to go talk to that magic mirror. But first, what if I put some stickers in my journal? Master Xehanort would be so proud of my sticker collection. Master Xehanort, are you gonna hang this on the fridge? Oh, actually, I suppose now we have fire, so we can get to that one spot. Yeah, do. Ah, St. James, yes. I see the sign for it every time I enter the village.
Take that.
Xehanort is the greatest sticker collector. He taught Terra everything he knows. Yeah, sounds alright. Man, can you imagine what Xehanort's sticker collection would actually look like, though?
So
Like,
long.
from all the worlds he's been to and the lives he's lived. Oh, this one is from when I went back in time.
Want some? Fire!
Whee! Terra, please. Here's all my stickers from when I was a nobody. Let's bring Magnet back. I'm like, oh, there's a treasure chest I missed. No, that's a mimic.
Take that! Want some?
How dare you return here, you bloody
Treasure pinatas.
fool.
What are you talking about?
I ordered you to bring me Snow White's heart.
A request I chose to ignore. You know, you claim to be radiant, but all I see are shadows of jealousy hanging thick on your heart.
You will pay for such insolence. Magic mirror on the wall. Consume this fool once and for all.
Alas, my liege, that I cannot do. I have no power save answers true.
Huh? You dare defy your queen?
What?
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a good idea. I see the one that's different.
Want some?
Where are you, you nerd? Ah! That's rude. Yeah, we couldn't have a ballroom full of people because we spent all our processing power making the masks.
It must be.
Heal!
Always felt the mirror's morality was either enigmatic, serving the queen, but not really beholden to pleasing her, dark and creepy, but actively antagonistic to Snow White.
How did you
It is but a
escape?
tool.
Now you will ask the mirror. Where can I find Master Xehanort?
Magic mirror, instruct this knave. Give him the answers he doth crave.
Beyond both light and dark he dwells, where war was waged upon the fells.
What's
that
that
all?
supposed to mean?
Thanks. You've been a big help.
Master Ericus said he first received word of these events from Master Yen Sid. Maybe it's time I went and spoke with him myself.
It's a little brash just thinking you can show up in someone's office. They had a walkabout mirror character. That's... I wonder how that physically worked.
Alakazam!
That does not seem like a pleasant way to travel.
So long!
Stop that.
Take that! Gather! Want some?
I'm surprised after that fight with the mirror, I don't have anything to meld.
Master Yen Sid. My name is Terra.
Yes, Ericus's pupil. I've been expecting you. It is the Unversed.
Yes, Master Yen Sid. I thought it best to seek the counsel of one wiser than myself.
I am no longer a master. I doffed that mantle.
There are a lot of speedruns.
But,
I'm
sir,
sure there's lots of different
wasn't that
types.
your pupil I passed on the way in? He had a Keyblade.
You refer to Mickey. He too sought guidance here. As a king, he is good and kind, but the weight of a crown has not cured him of impetuousness. He has left with an object whose power he does not understand nor know how to control. Mickey imagines my Star Shard will be of help in his current quest, and like you, he is eager to use his Keyblade to set things right.
I'm not sure I even understand what's wrong. Master Xehanort is missing. And now I've learned there's a masked boy who is controlling those unversed on the loose.
To arrive at the truth, perhaps you should approach things differently. First, consider them one and the same problem.
Master Xehanort and the unversed are connected somehow?
I must not make assumptions. Find Xehanort, Terra. That is where you should begin.
Yes, sir.
It's a lot of categories, and none of them have command board. They don't have Monopoly. Monopoly percent, come on.
I had hoped, Xehanort, your heart would no longer lead you astray.
Now Yensid's going to take a nice long nap for 10 years until Kingdom Hearts 2.
Terra.
Master Xehanort.
Terra. Come see me at once.
How did he do that? It's power plot, don't worry about it. Yensid is an advisor, he doesn't really do... That's fair, except he does stuff in 3. Just makes sweet commission.
Master Xehanort. I have been to other worlds. I know all about the things you've done. I just don't understand why.
Someone had to safeguard the light from the demon I unleashed. You must know about the boy by now, the one in the mask.
Aw, he's gaslighting him.
His name is Vanitas, a creature of pure darkness, one of my making.
Vanitas. Are you telling me he came from you?
He came from Ventus.
Ventus?
Yes. Vanitas is the darkness that was inside your friend. It was an accident. While training with me, Ventus succumbed to darkness, and there was but one way to save him. Strip that part of him away, and thus Vanitas was made. In the process, I damaged Ventus' heart in the most horrific way. So, I did what I felt was right and left him with Ericus. I knew the boy could not stay with me, the man who did him such grievous harm.
Master Xehanort. Ventus has gotten a lot better since then. You shouldn't blame yourself for trying to save him.
Well, thank you, lad. You know how to put an old man's heart at ease.
So that's what it was.
It was an accident, I swear. Yeah. Xehanort just did a little oopsie. Of course, this is after he had attempted to abandon him on Destiny Islands. As was his original plan when he broke Ventus. Because Xehanort's a terrible
Is he
person.
okay? I'll go see.
I'm Terra. What's your name?
Ventus.
You can talk. Aqua, come here.
Hi, I'm Aqua.
So, are you here to train with us? Where are you from? Who is that man with you? You good with a Keyblade? Whoa! What's the matter?
Are you okay?
He's
What
freaking
did you
out. Why are
do?
you asking him more questions?
Nothing. I just asked him some stuff.
Ventus cannot tell you anything. Because he cannot remember anything.
Thinking hurt too much.
Master.
Thinking
Why
overrated.
is Vanitas still free?
Ah, yes. Well, I did my best to contain him the moment he emerged. But
He managed to escape.
Vanitas uses the Keyblade to sow seeds of darkness. And now you see the world's teem with his ghastly underlings.
The Unversed.
He has no control over the darkness in his heart. The Keyblade is not his to bear. He's an abomination beyond hope of salvation. Lend me your strength, Terra. Right this wrong that I have wrought.
But I have no idea where to find him.
What I can tell you about Vanitas amounts to this. His darkness is drawn to the light which he seeks to disrupt, and then destroy. It stands to reason that he will strike next in the City of Light, Radiant Garden.
Why did Terra get a premonition? Like, that's never explained. Like, what happened, or why, or he never
Don't
talks
worry,
about it.
Master. I'll take care of Vanitas.
Ow, I think I just thought. Critical faculties are overrated anyway. For legal reasons. Please, no, this is heavily sarcasm. Please, please.
Unversed. This can only mean Master Xehanort was right.
Does it? Does that automatically follow? That just seems like bad logic.
Take that! Gather! You're done!
Oh, I unlocked a new finisher, apparently. Hey, Mel! Thank you for the resub. 11 months. Guess what? I'm actually here and gonna participate in stream. We're glad to have you, Mel. Hope you're doing well. I'm home for the day. Nice. I'm fighting bad camera angles.
It's gonna explode, Mom.
Gather.
Every time you try to take selfie, you fight bad camera angles. That's valid. That's why I just do like way up and angled, and, you know, just hope 7 filters, hope
Master
for the
Zane
best.
working
Hashtag no filter.
Maybe he found something out.
I get them looks out. No. No, it is not. It's not 2012. I don't know how that made freeze raid, but I'll take it. Ooh, I don't... I don't love that I'm losing a cure here, but... I have another regular cure. Hey, Mr. Spencer, good to see ya. Just rebought this for PSP. Nice. Completely forgot the game existed until I started diving into retro handhelds. I say retro because they were handhelds during my childhood and teen years. That's valid. They are retro. Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, the Wii is retro at this point. You got home from your annual, a little worried about the new gentleman you're training. Don't mind training, but his retention and recall leaves a lot to be desired. I've shown him the same task about 2-3 times, and he trained it this morning in a group with my boss as well. Then needed me to follow him through it again afterwards. Oofda, that's, oh. That is oof. There goes my controller. That is an oofda, Mel.
Why can't I ever seem to remember this address exactly?
You just walked into this guy's...
I believe you dropped this book.
Did I? Oh, I'm very sad to say this isn't one of mine, but what a remarkable book it is. This unassuming volume seems to have the unusual effect of awakening one's innermost abilities.
AKA, it's Monopoly.
Stronger? If it's all right, Your Elderness, might I have a closer look?
The name is Merlin. I'm a powerful wizard, and I'll have you know a lot of wisdom comes with age. Anyway, as I said, the book is not mine, but I'd be happy to keep it here for you.
Thank you, Merlin.
Your elderness. ATC. Is that what I should be called? Your elderness? Because I'm so old. the side quests in the original Kingdom Hearts. It was awesome and heartwarming. It was. And it's reduced to a Monopoly board in this one. Is this game just board games? Yeah, basically. You have these action-adventure segments where you have to fight these monsters in between playing your board games. But, you know, when you... The goal is that, you know, when you get to this point, you can play more board games. Yeah, this was a PSP originally. And it was limited, but not as much as the, yeah, certainly not nearly as much as the DS. The PSP was actually pretty decent for what it was. Yeah, there's a Metal Gear game on PSP. There are more games on the PSP than there were on the Vita, that's for sure. Both cats staring at me. How about the food bowl's empty? Ooh. That's a pretty good... Yes.
Take that!
They're plotting against you. Well, they are cats.
Take that!
Do PS1 games through emulation. They only copies of PS1 games to try, but I can't bring myself to piracy. That's fair. I mean, you can get a lot of PS1 games pretty cheap.
Gather! Want some?
No! I got Bell Cherry.
Take that!
Now Terra's beginning to gamble. This is dangerous. Yeah, prices do fluctuate, and then some people try to turn it into investments. Like, that's just not a good idea, in my opinion. Like, I'm a collector of Super Nintendo games. I'm aware that their prices are only going up, but it is not in a way that is conducive to actually making money.
Take that!
You ration food? You ration food for me yet? Jail for mother! Jail for mother for 1,000 years. I'm sorry about the games that I wanted digitally that I knew that I wanted. I'll use that person who's still dead. Yep.
Want some?
Mother, ration your own food. We are more equal than you.
Ven? Terra! Aqua!
I have sick brain. Oh no! I'm sorry that. I'm sorry to hear that you are sick. I hope you get well soon. Prayers for swift healing. No! You canceled my heal, and I can't use a D-Link because I have my friends with me. I'm just gonna let you nerds deal with him for a while. The nerds dealt with me. Yeah, I mean by volume, the PS2 had to have good games because there were just so many of them. Statistically, some games had to be good. Statistically, the Vita had to have games. Baloney! How has this game never heard of iframes?
Want some? So long.
Oh, are you serious? Like, just as I hit the heal button.
Let's go. Heal.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Take that. Gather.
I got stuck. Its laser bolts kept going pew pew pew, and I didn't have time. Like, I couldn't move. Wait, they ported a Wii game to the Vita? That's just weird.
Heal. Want some? Take that. Want some?
No, get out! I was pressing the dash button.
Want some? Heal. Want some? Gather. You're done. Heal. Take that. Gather.
If my allies can just get up after just taking a breather, why can't I?
Want some? Heal.
Rude!
Take that. So long.
I blocked, that's true strength.
Heal.
It's character development.
Want some?
Why do they all have lasers? Who designed this boss? Like how characters' hair covers a third of their health. You don't need health when you look this fabulous.
Heal. Take that.
There we go.
Terra! Then, now! Come on!
Got him.
We make a good team.
Sure do. Oh yeah, I got you these tickets.
For what?
Lifetime passes to Disney Town.
What's a Disney Town?
He said to take 2 grown-ups.
I think that's my favorite line delivery in all of Kingdom
You
Hearts.
mean us?
He said bring 2 grown-ups.
Listen to me, Ven. We need to get you home.
It's okay, Aqua. Trust me, that guy in the mask is history. I'll never badmouth Terra again.
You saw the boy in the mask?
Disney Fast Passes.
Yes?
Suspense. No, those aren't Disney Fast Passes because they didn't pay money for them.
Ven, you let Aqua take you home.
No way. I want to go with you guys.
You can't. We have a dangerous task ahead of us. I don't want you to get hurt.
And what is this dangerous task, Terra? It doesn't sound like what the Master told you to do.
It might be a different route, but I'm fighting the darkness.
I'm not so sure. I've been to the same worlds as you, and I've seen what you've done. You shouldn't put yourself so close to the darkness.
Listen to yourself, Aqua. Terra would never.
Whatever you buy will be charged to the room. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Is that what he said to do? The Master's orders?
Except it's really convenient when you go to the parks now because it's they use a magic band. It was what they call it. It's like just a wristband with an RFID thing in it.
Terra!
Just stay put. I'm on my own now. All right?
Terra, please, listen. The Master has no reason to distrust you, really. He was just worried.
Master Xehanort is the only one I could still count on.
You must be Terra. It's that old coot. He won't stop asking for you. I came all the way out here to get you, just so he'd clam up.
What do you mean?
Ha! Do I have to spell it out? Xehanort, whatever he's called. You know, my prisoner.
You're apparently not a very good liar. Master Xehanort would never let himself be caught by a thug like you.
As if. I got the old coot at my mercy. See for yourself. I'm holding him underneath the outer gardens. Better show up before I lose my patience. Ciao.
He does have 2 eyes
There's
still.
no way it's true. But no harm in looking.
Xehanort sounds like a pesticide. Buy Xehanort now to take care of the ants in your garden. Raid with extra Xehanort.
Want some? Gather.
Yeah, the magic bands are actually really. I do really like the magic bands because it's your ticket, your hotel key, your credit card, your fast pass. It's everything. Very convenient. I am a fan of going to the Disney parks.
So long.
If I had to pick, I'd prefer World over Land, but I do think that Disneyland as a park is more coherent than Magic Kingdom. get a cure cooking so we can level those up. Been big on decentralizing your tech. That's fair. I think that's wise. I gave up on that.
Want some?
I wish I could decentralize my tech more. I just don't have the energy for that.
Want some?
I'm also too much of a gamer to switch to Linux, which I'd like to do. And yeah, a lot of games do run on Linux now, but it can still be a process. Actually, the one thing I'd really love to do is there's a smartphone that uses e-ink as its screen, and it does actually have a map function. So it's calls, texts, and a map, and that's it. Like, it doesn't have any other apps.
Take that.
But do you want to switch to Linux? Mostly because I don't like the direction that Windows is headed. Is the Bluebird Eagle? That doesn't sound familiar. I think it was like simple or something, like without an E. I could be wrong on that, though. Squirrel Lich. Has ways and call text hotspot touchscreen. Find a flip. No, the one I know of is not a flip phone format. It's a it's like a standard smartphone setup. I don't know why I did this. Like that means anything. Yeah, Fleeting Crystal sounds good. Magic Haste. Yeah, Magic Haste on Cure. Let's go. I want to go back to Game Boy Screen Phone. You can only play Snake. Ah, the Nokia. Be careful about dropping that. You might bring down your house. I seem to recall this fight honking. No, the honkers are heartless. What do you think Braig's heartless is? I mean, he has to have one because he...
Take that.
becomes a nobody. And it had to have been defeated.
Gather.
The Unversed are mason jars.
Say goodbye.
That is a take if ever I've heard one. Of all the takes I've heard, that is one. Yep. What if Canadian insurgents are just for Canadians? Well, Canadian geese are just beings of pure hatred for darkness, so. I was about to check something, and then enemies appeared, so, you know, never mind. But then what's the, what's their nobody? What's the nobody of Canadian geese? Finish commands. Okay, so last time when we played as Ventus, we just like dead-ended on this. On level 2. We're actually moving up to level 3 with Terra here. Oh, I need my sticker. I need to make Xehanort proud of me and put it on the fridge.
Want some? Gather.
No. Hoi Brie, or should I say, we're talking about Canadians. Oh, Senator's the worst Canadian hockey team. Maybe they're fans. Oh. Hey, speaking of completely random things, I was reading a news article. MI6 just announced its first head. That's a woman for the first time in their history. Which is awesome. But what I learned is that they are called C. Just the letter C. Not M, but the person in charge of tech is still Q. I was very upset by that. But it turns out that the first director of MI6, he was captain, and so he'd sign everything simply C, and that's kind of stuck as a code name. Anyway, Gale has redeemed a father joke. Do you know what happens when two microscopes collide? Makes a kaleidoscope. It's not Dame Duty Jens. No. No, it's a woman who's actually been like working for MI6 for many years, so. Oh, what are we projecting if I beat this on my first go? Oh, that is a joke. It's a father joke. Oh no,
Master
chains are
Xehanort!
Keyblade Master's weakness.
The old coot certainly knows how to take punishment.
I believe you got
Just
this.
like I know how to deal
You
it
could bet your
out.
channel points that way.
You monster! What are you after?
Not to brag, but this fight's
That
pretty
thing
easy,
right
IMO.
there. It's called the Keyblade, isn't it? Yep. Seems like these days everybody's got one of those. Even Grandpa there. When I nabbed him, he told me all about it. What a weapon like that can do. How could I not want one?
Well, you'll find they're picky about their owners.
Ha, if I heard the old guy right, you're what they call Keyblade Master material. So if I defeat you, that makes me the real Keyslinger. If you catch my drift.
For half my channel points.
Not the most polite way to go about it. But what can you do? One more step and the coot goes boom. You think I'm gonna fight fair? As if. That key's too powerful for us to go mano a mano.
See, the funny thing is that he actually has a Keyblade. I mean,
For a Keyblade Master, you're not very... what's the word? Good.
What are you doing, Terra? Fight!
But Master, you'll...
no, I am not playing. I'm not playing Union
You must
Cross
fight. You can't let this ruffian win. Think of your master.
because you can't
Ericus.
anymore.
The shame he and your fellow pupils would be forced to bear. Use the Keyblade.
Maybe I should do a watch party on the Discord though of the Union Cross movie. What about the new one coming? The one that got canceled?
So much for the bluff.
There's a movie? No, it's not. It's more like an extended cutscene. It's they made this. Well, actually, it's kind of like a movie. It's like a directed DVD or VHS kind of movie. But it's on the 2.5 collection.
Okay.
Or no, it's on the 2.8 collection.
Reload. Take this.
I'm really bad at this fight. Because it's all about blocking, and I hate blocking.
Take this. Heal. You better start running. I can see you. Okay.
Counter hammer does nothing here.
Come on. Come on.
Stop!
Heal.
Stop being a butt.
Gotcha
So
now.
rude.
Take this. Really? Heal. Okay.
Oh wait, rock stream.
We go home. Take this. I can see you.
That's nice.
Okay.
I hit square.
Take that. Come on.
Oh, can't block that one. Okay.
Come on!
Get out there, jump! Do something!
Heal! Gotcha now! Take this! Take this! Gotcha now.
Just shot lock him in the back. He moves too quickly to get a good shot lock.
Come on! Heal!
We almost have him, though. We're on his last health bar.
Come on! Gotcha now!
This guy brought a gun to a shield fight. What a dummy!
Want something? Okay. Heal! Take this!
Okay, he has one hit point left. I just have to hit him.
Reload.
Take this sounds incredibly bored. Well, he is thousands of years old. And that's why he has the eye patch.
This power.
Because Terra
Well
tapped
done,
into the
Terra.
power of darkness.
You have taken yet another step forward.
But I was consumed by anger. Hatred. That was the power of darkness.
Darkness that you channeled.
No. I succumbed to it. Just like when I stole Princess Aurora's Heart of Light. I can never return home now. I'm a failure.
Then don't. You could be my pupil. Master Ericus, you see, is so afraid of darkness that he too has succumbed. Not to darkness, but to light.
How does
It
one
shines
succumb
so
to light?
bright, he forgets that light begets darkness. And Aqua and Ventus, their lights shine too bright. It is only natural that they cast shadows on your heart. Ericus, he's such a fool. Light and darkness, they are a balance. One that must always be maintained. Terra, you are the one who shows the true mark of mastery, but he refuses to see it. And I know why. It is because he fears you. Join me.
You gotta be making sense
You
of
and
that. I think that's what
can
makes
do
him
the
such a
world's
good villain
much
in
greater
this.
good. By
It's like,
wielding
oh,
light
wait,
and
hold on.
darkness in equal shares.
Master Xehanort.
See more worlds. Seek out the darkness that upsets the balance. Find Vanitas and bring an end to him. Master Terra.
Now here's a question. Does that count? Is Terra actually now a Keyblade Master? Because he's never referred to one after that. Xehanort? Creepy? No, never.
Terra!
Yeah, but was he actually giving approval, or is he just manipulating him?
Take me with you.
I can't do that, Ben.
Why not?
You don't think that matters? I think intention does matter.
When I really need you, Vin, I know you'll be there.
Well, why wouldn't I? You're my friend.
Yeah. You're right. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, he does have Major Palpatine vibes. But he's voiced by Leonard Nimoy.
Hey, you old coot! You said I wouldn't get hurt. I didn't sign up to be collateral damage. No way, as if.
Okay, fine. Just put that down. You still need me. You still need me to do something, right? And all I'm asking is that you hold up your end of the bargain.
Soul Edge? No, the Master's Keyblade.
I mean, what's a little scratch on my face, huh? All things considered. I'm just lucky he didn't steal my heart like Princess whatever it was. That would have ruined my week for sure.
Unlike
That is the Keyblade of the
powerful
original
light
maker
still
of the
lives inside of
Keyblades
Terra.
that Xehanort
See,
wields.
People like him, they don't have the power to steal hearts.
So wait, you mean he's not the one who stole her heart?
Kind of. And it has an eye in it, and that's actually... It's not like the Master's literal eye, I think. Maybe it might be. But it is... The Master has magically enchanted it, and he can watch history even after he's gone. You learn all of this in the Union Cross movie. Man, Kingdom Hearts lore is great and dumb. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a watch party at some point on Discord with that. Does it blink? No, it doesn't blink. But that is perfect timing for where we're going to call it for the day. So thank you so much for tuning in to Let Us Play. I've been your host, Father Evan. It's been good to be with y'all today. Join us again tomorrow as we play more Papers, Please. Get your passports ready. I thought I don't think so. I don't remember it ever doing that. Anyway, yeah. Join us tomorrow for more Papers, Please. So have your passports ready. Join us on Wednesday for Minecraft. We might actually finish the Opera House. Might. I've gathered a lot of materials for it. Thursday, more Link's Awakening, maybe the last one. You download Papers, Please. Hey, it's an interesting game and a fun one. I look forward to playing more of it. So, anyway, thank you to everyone who's liked, followed, subscribed, given bits, all that good jazz. Thank you for checking out the YouTube and the Discord. And why don't we see who's live that we can raid into? gonna send you on over to the Ricoist Rico. He's a PNG tuber. Well, I guess he is a VTuber model actually, but he is a battle brother in Christ. Yes, prayers for you, Mr. Spencer. Prayers right now. What's Xehanort exactly? Raid call will be Father Raid as usual. Go give him some love. He's doing some art, drawing Daisy, it looks like. So Father Raid, spam the meet more if you've got it. He's a fun guy. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care, and God bless.